What if the single greatest threat to your health wasn't a disease you could catch, but a choice you make within the first 5 minutes of waking up? A simple, innocent habit that feels like just another part of your morning, but is actually a hidden trigger for disaster. 99% of people, especially those over 65, will ignore this silent alarm. But you must not skip any part of this, because understanding this one fundamental shift in your routine is not about fear, it's about empowerment. It could be the defining difference between a future of vibrant, independent living and a life-altering medical event. This knowledge is your power. Waking up. There's a profound biological transition that occurs the moment our eyes open, a delicate handoff from the restorative world of sleep to the demands of our waking life. During the night, your body enters a state of deep conservation. Your heart rate slows, your blood pressure takes a natural and healthy dip, and your entire system is in a low-power mode. It's a crucial period of repair and regeneration. But this state of rest also means your cardiovascular system is not primed for sudden, explosive action. For anyone, but especially for an individual over the age of 65, how you manage these first few moments can set the tone for your health for the entire day. Imagine a coiled spring. The energy is stored, ready, but releasing it too quickly can have chaotic results. This is precisely what happens when you jolt out of bed immediately upon waking. The sudden shift from a horizontal to a vertical position triggers a rapid downward pull of blood due to gravity. Your circulatory system, still in its gentle low-pressure state, is caught completely off guard. This can cause a swift, dramatic drop in blood pressure known as orthostatic or postural hypotension, a condition where the brain is momentarily starved of the adequate blood flow and oxygen it desperately needs to function. In a younger person with resilient, flexible arteries, the body can often compensate for this shock relatively quickly. The heart can rapidly increase its rate and force, and blood vessels can constrict efficiently to push blood back up to the brain. However, as we age, our arteries naturally lose some of their elasticity. They become stiffer, less responsive. They can't adapt to these abrupt changes in pressure with the same speed and efficiency. This momentary deficit of blood flow to the brain can manifest as dizziness, lightheadedness, or seeing spots, which in themselves can lead to dangerous falls. In the most critical instances, this severe drop in blood pressure can precipitate a transient ischemic attack, TIA, often called a mini-stroke, or even a full-blown ischemic stroke. This occurs when a blood clot blocks an artery in the brain, or when severe low blood pressure reduces blood flow to such a degree that brain cells begin to die. The sudden, forceful demand placed on the heart to correct the pressure drop can also be a significant strain, particularly if there are pre-existing cardiovascular conditions. It's a violent physiological alarm bell that your body is forced to ring, all because of one hasty movement. The solution to this hidden danger is not complex or expensive. It is an act of profound mindfulness and respect for your body's natural rhythm. It begins before you even think of leaving your bed. Upon waking, allow yourself to simply be still for a minute. Let your eyes slowly adjust to the light in the room. This quiet pause is a signal to your nervous system that the transition is beginning, allowing it to gently emerge from its restful state. Then, take 3 to 5 deep conscious breaths. Inhale slowly through your nose and exhale slowly through your mouth. This practice helps to stabilize your heart rate and gently improve circulation. After these initial moments of stillness and breath, the next step is to move with intention. Instead of throwing your legs over the side and standing up, first push yourself up slowly into a seated position on the edge of your bed. Let your feet dangle and rest flat on the floor. Now, simply wait here. Hold this position for at least 30 to 60 seconds. This deliberate pause is arguably the most crucial step in the entire sequence. It gives your baroreceptors, the pressure sensors in your major arteries, the necessary time to detect the change in posture and signal your heart and blood vessels to adjust blood pressure accordingly. During this seated pause, you are allowing your entire cardiovascular system to gracefully recalibrate to the force of gravity. Blood that may have pooled in your lower extremities is gently encouraged to redistribute. Your heart has time to methodically increase its output, rather than being shocked into a frantic, inefficient pump. You are providing a buffer, a moment of grace that transforms a potential physiological crisis into a smooth, controlled transition. It's a conscious choice that honors the intricate, beautiful machinery of your body. Finally, after this deliberate pause, you can proceed to stand. Do it slowly. Place your hands on your thighs or on the bed for support and rise gently to your feet. Once standing, take another moment before you begin to walk. Feel your balance. Acknowledge your connection to the ground. This entire ritual, from opening your eyes to taking your first step, might add 2 minutes to your morning. Yet in those 2 minutes, you have actively shielded your brain from a dangerous ischemic threat and protected your heart from undue strain. This is not about being frail, it's about being wise. It's the first and most powerful act of self-care you can perform each day. Morning hydration. Over the course of a full night's sleep, your body undergoes a long, slow process of dehydration. Through respiration and imperceptible perspiration, you lose a significant amount of water. You wake in the morning in a natural state of fluid deficit. This dehydration has a direct impact on the consistency of your blood. It becomes more concentrated, thicker, and more viscous. For the cardiovascular system, this creates a more challenging environment. Pumping thicker blood requires more effort from the heart, which can elevate your blood pressure. This state of hemoconcentration also increases the potential for blood cells to clump together, raising the risk of forming a thrombus or blood clot. For many, the first instinct upon waking is to reach for a cherished cup of coffee or tea. While this ritual feels comforting and necessary to start the day, beginning with a caffeinated beverage when you are already dehydrated is a hazardous choice, especially for those over 65. Caffeine is a known diuretic. It works by signaling your kidneys to flush more sodium and water from the body. Instead of replenishing your much-needed fluid stores, it effectively wrings more water out of a system that is already running low, further exacerbating the dehydration and thickening the blood. This places an immediate and significant strain on your heart and vascular system at a time of day when you are already naturally vulnerable. The morning hours are when cortisol levels are at their peak and when blood pressure is typically at its highest for many people. Adding the vasoconstrictive and diuretic effects of caffeine to an already dehydrated system creates a perfect storm of risk factors for a cardiovascular event like a stroke or heart attack. The heart has to work harder, the blood is thicker, and the blood vessels are being constricted. It is a triple threat that is so easily avoidable. Furthermore, our natural sense of thirst, the very mechanism that should protect us from dehydration, becomes less acute as we age. This condition, known as hypodipsia, means that older adults may not feel thirsty even when their body is in significant need of water. This makes it incredibly easy to exist in a state of chronic, low-grade dehydration without ever realizing it. Relying on thirst alone is no longer a reliable strategy for hydration in later life. We must become proactive and intentional about our fluid intake, beginning with the very first drink of the day. The antidote is elegantly simple and profoundly effective. Begin your day with a large glass of pure, plain water. Before your coffee, before your tea, before your breakfast, water must come first. Think of this act as priming your internal engine. Drinking 12 to 16 ounces of water upon waking immediately begins the process of rehydration. It helps to restore lost fluid volume to your bloodstream, effectively thinning your blood to a safer, less viscous consistency. This reduces the workload on your heart and helps to normalize your blood pressure. Room temperature or slightly warm water is often a better choice than ice-cold water first thing in the morning. The body can absorb water that is closer to its own internal temperature more easily, and it avoids a shock to your digestive system. For an added benefit, squeezing the juice of half a lemon into your water can be beneficial. Lemon juice stimulates the digestive system and provides a small dose of antioxidants and vitamin C, which helps to support the health of your blood vessel linings. This is a gentle, supportive way to awaken your body from the inside out. The key here is not about a permanent sacrifice of your morning coffee, it's about intelligent sequencing. The rule of thumb should be to create a hydration window. Drink your glass of water and then wait for at least 20 to 30 minutes before you have your first cup of coffee or tea. This crucial window of time allows your body to absorb the water fully and reestablish a healthy baseline level of hydration. By doing this, you prepare your system to better handle the effects of the caffeine to come. You are buffering your body against the potential harms. By front-loading your hydration, you are performing a radical act of self-preservation. You are supporting your kidneys in their vital work of flushing out metabolic waste that has accumulated overnight. You are nourishing every cell, tissue, and organ in your body, providing the fundamental element they need to function optimally. This simple habit, this single glass of water, fundamentally shifts your physiology from a state of vulnerability to a state of resilience. It is the cornerstone upon which a healthy, heart-protective, and brain-protective morning is built. It is a choice that reverberates through your entire system for hours to come. Nourishing start. The wisdom that food is medicine is an ancient truth, but modern science is now revealing the precise mechanisms through which this is true. Our bodies are equipped with a set of extraordinary hardwired health defense systems. These are angiogenesis, regeneration, the microbiome, DNA protection, and immunity. What you eat for your first meal of the day can either activate and support these systems, or it can suppress and weaken them, directly impacting your risk for chronic diseases, including stroke. The habit of skipping breakfast, often seen as a way to save time or calories, is particularly perilous as we age. When you go for more than 12 hours without eating, your body's blood sugar levels are at their lowest. If you continue this fast well into the morning, your body perceives a state of emergency, a famine. To compensate and generate energy, it triggers the release of stress hormones like cortisol and adrenaline. This hormonal surge isn't benign. It raises your blood pressure and heart rate, putting direct physical stress on the walls of your arteries. If these arteries are already somewhat compromised by age or plaque buildup, this morning's stress state creates a highly dangerous environment ripe for a cardiovascular event. Starting your day with a nourishing meal is your first opportunity to consciously engage and fortify your body's defense systems. Let's consider angiogenesis, your body's system for growing and maintaining healthy blood vessels. You want blood vessels that are balanced. Not too many, not too few. A breakfast rich in foods like berries contains ellagic acid, which helps to keep this system in a healthy, anti-inflammatory balance. On the other hand, a breakfast high in processed sugars can promote the kind of abnormal vessel growth associated with disease. Then there is our regenerative system powered by our stem cells. These are the body's internal repair crews, capable of healing damaged tissues, including the delicate lining of our blood vessels. Certain foods can help to mobilize these stem cells. For instance, incorporating a small amount of dark chocolate with a high cacao percentage in moderation can actually boost the number of circulating stem cells. Adding some nuts and seeds provides healthy fats that also support cellular repair and regeneration. This is literally eating to rebuild yourself from the inside out. Perhaps one of the most exciting frontiers of health is our microbiome, the trillions of bacteria living in our gut. This internal ecosystem plays a monumental role in our overall health, including regulating inflammation throughout the body. A chronically inflamed state is a primary driver of atherosclerosis, the hardening and narrowing of arteries that leads to strokes. A breakfast that includes a high-fiber food like oatmeal or rye bread provides prebiotics, which are the fuel for our healthy gut bacteria. This strengthens the gut barrier and sends anti-inflammatory signals throughout the body, directly benefiting your cardiovascular system. Your DNA is your biological blueprint, but it is under constant assault from a variety of sources. Your DNA protection system is designed to repair this damage. Foods rich in antioxidants act as the guardians of your genetic code. Starting your day with brightly colored fruits and vegetables, think spinach in an omelet or a side of cantaloupe, floods your system with these protective compounds. Walnuts are another powerhouse, providing omega-3 fatty acids that not only protect DNA, but also directly combat inflammation, which is a key instigator of stroke risk. Finally, your immune system. A well-functioning immune system is a balanced one. You want it to be strong enough to fight off infection, but not so overactive that it creates the chronic, low-grade inflammation that damages blood vessels. The standard Western breakfast of sugary cereals, pastries, or processed meats is highly inflammatory and can push your immune system into overdrive. In contrast, a breakfast built around whole foods, like a vegetable omelet with whole grain toast and avocado, provides a wealth of micronutrients that help keep the immune system in a state of healthy, vigilant balance. So what does a protective, defense-activating breakfast look like? It is not about one single superfood, but about a symphony of nourishing components. A bowl of steel-cut oatmeal with blueberries, walnuts, and a sprinkle of cinnamon. The oatmeal provides soluble fiber to lower cholesterol, the blueberries provide anthocyanins to protect blood vessels, the walnuts offer healthy fats, and cinnamon helps to stabilize blood sugar. Or consider a slice of sourdough or rye toast with mashed avocado, topped with a sprinkle of hemp or chia seeds. This provides healthy monounsaturated fats, incredible fiber, and omega-3s. This is how you eat with intention. It's not a diet, it's a strategy for long-term vitality. Mindful moments? In our modern era, one of the most ingrained morning habits is the immediate reach for a screen. Before our feet even touch the floor, we are often already scrolling through news headlines, checking work emails, or absorbing the endless stream of social media. This habit, which seems so harmless, is a form of cognitive and emotional whiplash. It is a digital jolt that can be as physiologically damaging as the physical jolt of leaping out of bed too quickly. It catapults our minds from a state of rest directly into a state of high alert and stress. When you wake, as we've discussed, your system is in a naturally vulnerable state. Your blood pressure is reaching its daily peak. Flooding your brain with information, especially information that is stressful, negative, or emotionally charged, triggers an immediate and powerful release of the stress hormone cortisol. This is your body's ancient fight-or-flight response designed for moments of genuine danger. Your heart begins to beat faster, your breathing becomes more shallow, and your blood vessels constrict, all to prepare you to face a perceived threat. Doing this day after day creates a state of chronic morning stress. It trains your body to start each day in a state of high alert and tension. This repeated constriction of your blood vessels and the elevated heart rate place a significant and unnecessary strain on your entire cardiovascular system. For a person over 65, whose vascular system may already be less resilient, this self-induced stress surge is a significant and modifiable risk factor for hypertension, heart disease, and stroke. The blue light emitted from these screens also sends a jarring signal to your brain, disrupting the natural, gradual hormonal shifts of waking. The antidote to this digital deluge is to consciously create a buffer of peace, a sacred pause between waking and engaging with the world's demands. This isn't about emptying your mind or achieving a perfect state of enlightenment. It's about choosing to start your day with calm instead of chaos. It's about giving your nervous system the same gentle transition that you give your cardiovascular system. This practice of morning mindfulness can take many forms, and the most effective one is the one you will actually do consistently. One of the most powerful and accessible practices is conscious breathing. After you sit on the edge of the bed, before you stand, simply close your eyes and focus on your breath. Practice diaphragmatic breathing. Place a hand on your belly, and as you inhale slowly through your nose, feel your belly expand. As you exhale slowly through your mouth, feel it gently fall. Doing this for just 1 or 2 minutes stimulates your vagus nerve, which is the main pathway of your parasympathetic nervous system, your body's rest and digest system. This acts as a direct countermeasure to the stress response, helping to lower your heart rate and blood pressure. Another beautiful practice is to simply connect with the natural world, even in a small way. Instead of grabbing your phone, walk to a window, look at the sky, the trees, the light, notice the colors and the stillness of the early morning. This practice of soft fascination has a deeply calming effect on the brain. The gentle, natural morning light also plays a crucial role in anchoring your circadian rhythm, the body's master clock, which regulates everything from your sleep-wake cycle to your hormone release and metabolism. This reinforces a healthy, natural start to the day. Incorporating a few minutes of gentle stretching can also be profoundly beneficial. This is not about a full workout. It is about slowly and intentionally moving your body to release the stiffness that accumulates overnight. Gentle neck rolls, shoulder shrugs, and slow spinal twists can help to increase blood flow to your muscles and joints. This not only feels good, but also improves overall circulation, easing your body into movement rather than shocking it. It's a way of saying good morning to your physical form with care and attention. You might also consider a simple gratitude practice. While still sitting in quiet, bring to mind 3 specific things for which you are genuinely grateful. This practice has been scientifically shown to shift brain activity away from stress-based centers and toward areas associated with contentment and well-being. It is a powerful way to frame your entire day. Starting from a place of appreciation rather than a place of deficit or anxiety fundamentally changes your mental and emotional state, which in turn has a calming effect on your physical state. By choosing these mindful moments, you are making a declaration that your inner peace is your first priority. Sleep quality. The conversation about stroke prevention often centers on diet and exercise during our waking hours, but the 8 hours we spend in bed may be just the most critical and active period of defense for our brain health. The quality and duration of your sleep are not passive states of rest. They are active, therapeutic processes that are profoundly linked to cardiovascular and cerebrovascular health. A growing body of powerful scientific evidence now clearly shows that poor sleep is an independent and significant risk factor for stroke. It's a silent threat that accumulates night after night. Research has revealed a compelling U-shaped curve when it comes to sleep duration and stroke risk. Individuals who consistently sleep too little, typically defined as less than 6 hours per night, show a marked increase in stroke risk. But equally concerning is the other end of the spectrum. Studies have also found that those who consistently sleep too long, often more than 8 or 9 hours per night, also have a significantly elevated risk. This suggests there is a sweet spot for sleep, typically between 7 and 8 hours for most adults, that appears to be most protective. When we don't get enough deep, restorative sleep, several dangerous things happen internally. First, the body fails to properly regulate inflammation. Deep sleep is when our immune system does its crucial housekeeping, calming inflammatory processes. Without adequate sleep, the body remains in a state of chronic low-grade inflammation, which is a primary driver of atherosclerosis, the buildup of fatty plaques in the arteries that can eventually rupture and cause a stroke. Lack of sleep also disrupts hormonal balance, leading to higher levels of the stress hormone cortisol, which raises blood pressure. Furthermore, during the deepest stages of sleep, our brain activates its own unique waste clearance system, known as the glymphatic system. This process acts like a dishwasher for the brain, flushing out metabolic byproducts and toxic proteins, such as beta amyloid, that accumulate during the day. When sleep is short or fragmented, this cleaning process is incomplete. The buildup of these toxins is linked not only to neurodegenerative diseases, but also to an increase in inflammation within the brain's blood vessels, making them more vulnerable. Now, what about the risk associated with oversleeping? It's important to understand that long sleep duration is often not the cause of the problem, but rather a symptom, a red flag that the body is struggling with something else. Excessive sleepiness can be an indicator of an underlying and undiagnosed condition like obstructive sleep apnea, a disorder where breathing repeatedly stops and starts during sleep. These apneic events cause sharp drops in blood oxygen levels and surges in blood pressure, placing immense strain on the heart and brain, and are a major risk factor for stroke. Excessive sleep can also be a sign that the body is battling a high level of systemic inflammation or another chronic health issue. The profound fatigue is the body's way of signaling that it is in a state of distress and is trying to heal. Therefore, if you find that you are consistently needing more than 9 hours of sleep just to function, it should not be ignored. It warrants a conversation with a healthcare professional to investigate potential underlying causes that are elevating your stroke risk independently. The oversleeping itself is a vital clue from your body that something is wrong. Improving your sleep quality is one of the most powerful forms of preventative medicine at your disposal. This begins with creating a sanctuary for rest. Your bedroom should be cool, dark, and quiet. Banish screens from the bedroom, as the blue light they emit suppresses the production of melatonin, the hormone that signals your brain it's time for sleep. Establish a consistent power down hour before bed, a relaxing ritual that could include reading a physical book, taking a warm bath, or listening to calming music. This helps to signal the transition to sleep. Adhering to a regular sleep-wake schedule, even on weekends, is critical for anchoring your body's master internal clock, the circadian rhythm. Avoid heavy meals, caffeine, and alcohol in the hours leading up to bedtime, as all of these can disrupt the natural architecture of your sleep stages, robbing you of the most restorative deep sleep and REM sleep. Prioritizing your sleep is not a luxury, it is a biological necessity. It is an active investment in your brain's resilience, your heart's strength, and your overall longevity. This journey through the morning is not about instilling fear, but about illuminating the profound power you hold in your hands every single day. Health is not something that merely happens to us. It is something we can consciously and deliberately cultivate through small, intelligent choices. The gentle awakening, the glass of water before the coffee, the nourishing plate of food, the sacred pause of silence. These are not burdens. They are acts of deep respect and love for the body that carries you through life. This is the path to a future defined not by chance, but by choice. It is a future of vitality, clarity, and peace, built one mindful morning at a time. This was a wake-up call, literally. The part about the digital jolt from our phones in the morning really hit home for me. What's one morning habit you're now rethinking after watching this?